Oh, Rudy Giuliani, right? As I'm sure everyone is aware by now, yesterday at 6 a.m., the FBI conducted raids on two of Giuliani's properties, a Park Avenue apartment and an office in downtown Manhattan, where they seized multiple electronic devices from the former New York City mayor, including his cell phone. This is part of the investigation taking place to see if Rudy Giuliani was in fact working as an unregistered foreign agent. His good buddies, Lev Parnas and Igor Fruman, have already been taken down in this particular scandal. And so now it's obviously, for a long time now, has reached its way up to Rudy Giuliani. That investigation is ongoing, had been quiet for quite some time, actually, probably about a year. And then all of a sudden, yesterday, Wednesday, they said, you know what? Let's go ahead and make a move. This is a huge development in this particular case. And by the way, not just because of the raids and seizures. We also found out yesterday that a grand jury has been empaneled in this particular investigation. That tells us quite a bit. And none of it is good for Rudy Giuliani. It means that they already at this point had enough evidence to begin presenting it to this grand jury. Also, in order to get the warrants to conduct these raids, they had to show probable cause to a judge. And the judge had to determine whether or not probable cause existed. Obviously, since the raids were conducted, the judge said yes. I agree with your claims. I agree that there is probable cause that a crime was committed. So have at it. Rather remarkable, right? Not just the fact that this happened, but just the entire Rudy Giuliani saga. You know, the guy goes from being a mediocre mayor of New York City to suddenly person of the year for Time magazine after the 9/11 attacks. You know, he's credited with guiding New York City through that, but really all he did was be the mayor at the time. So, you know, he was a hero. Then he ran for president, and everybody said, no, we actually don't like you that much. Threw in his lot with Donald Trump, and then basically ruined his entire life by doing that. Because, see, that's the thing. Rudy Giuliani could have just disappeared. Hell, he could have even gone back into private law practice, which he actually did for a little bit. But instead, he decided, I'm still ambitious, I still want more, and Donald Trump is going to be my ticket. Well, Trump has, in fact, turned out to be his ticket. It's just not to a place that Rudy Giuliani actually wanted to go. And that ticket may end up taking him all the way to prison at this point, given what we're seeing happening right now with this investigation. The materials that were seized by the FBI yesterday will be presented to the grand jury after they have been thoroughly dissected, essentially, by the federal authorities. They're going to take anything that they have in there, give it to this grand jury that's going to decide whether or not we're going to indict Rudy Giuliani officially. At that point, he will face charges and have a trial. That's basically where we're at right now. It is likely and probable that Fruman and Parnas, who I mentioned earlier, are cooperating with this particular investigation in order to get reduced sentences, perhaps in order to not get deported. So they could easily throw Rudy Giuliani under the bus. We obviously have plenty of video and photographic evidence showing that Giuliani was good buddies with these individuals. We already have other communications showing that Giuliani was in fact working with officials in the Ukraine, trying to get dirt on Joe Biden and Hunter Biden and all of that. So yeah, the evidence already is overwhelming. So whatever we get from these electronic devices or any other documents they took from Rudy Giuliani's offices, none of it ends well for Rudy. One of today's video sponsors is Magic Spoon, a low-carb, keto-friendly cereal. And right now they have an exclusive offer for our Ring of Fire viewers. Go to magicspoon.com/ROF or click the link at the top of the video description below. Grab a variety pack, and when you check out, enter code ROF for $5 off your entire order. Who doesn't remember waking up as a child, pouring yourself a giant bowl of sugar-filled, wonderful cereal. Well, as we get older, we can't exactly do that anymore. We have to look out for our health, and that's what Magic Spoon does. 140 calories per serving, 0 grams of sugar per serving. It is grain-free, soy-free, keto-friendly, and most importantly, guilt-free. Pour yourself a bowl for breakfast or do what I do and use it at night as a sugar substitute so you don't go reaching for a bowl of ice cream. Instead, get a high-protein, low-carb, low-calorie snack. Again, go to magicspoon.com/ROF, grab a variety pack, enter code ROF at checkout, and get $5 off your entire order.